What's up, guys? Today I'm going to react to this creator called AK Pilled. I don't know if you guys have seen him. An Indian guy who was able to have some pretty impressive Looksmaxxing transformation. I think he looks pretty damn good right now. Although he's an Indian guy, but he doesn't really have any unattractive traits currently. Because in my opinion, when there's a good-looking Indian guy, usually you can still find some flaws in them. You can still see some unattractive Indian traits. Not to be rude. Yeah, in my opinion, people that are Indians are typically not that attractive. They have some unattractive flaws, features. Yeah, but I feel like this guy, he doesn't really have any of that currently. Yeah. To be honest, he didn't even look that bad before. Right here. Right. Right. He was more unattractive before, but he doesn't really have that kind of unattractive Indian features for some reason. So maybe he's not fully Indian, I can assume. Yeah, so this guy has like 17K followers. Less than I thought. I think he probably has more followers on his TikTok. Yeah, but let's take a look at some of his videos. Today I'm wearing my earphones because I noticed that without them, I can sound a little quiet during my videos sometimes. So today I should be able to be totally good. Let's watch his transformation, Neon's transformation. So take a look at his face right here. Pretty fat and not defined. You can definitely see that there's excess fat. That's not supposed to be there. You are not supposed to look like this. This is a sign that you are not very healthy. Your facial angularity should be much more significant. Yeah, people are supposed to have a lean, good-looking face. Yeah, you are not supposed to have a fat face. That makes your jawline look rounded, makes your face look fat. But that's what happens to a lot of modern people, because people are eating too unhealthily, too much junk food and carbs, and too little animal nutrition, which is going to induce this kind of diseased-looking fat face. You want to be lowering your visceral fat with diet and lifestyle, so that you are going to have a healthier and leaner-looking face. Also, he looks a little lethargic here, probably also related to his suboptimal health. So let's keep going. But overall, I think he didn't look that horrible. Just an average looking guy, in my opinion. Yeah, didn't look horrible. Okay, looking better here with better hairstyle. Looking more confident. Face looking much more defined here. But still nowhere near as attractive as he is now. I think the reason he looks good right now has a lot to do with his hairstyle. That pretty boy hairstyle can really make you look good. Yeah, he looks much better here. Also, his face became much more defined and healthy. I wonder what kind of dietary changes did he make. He definitely changed his diet, I'm pretty sure. I don't expect you to be able to look so much leaner without having to change your diet. I don't think that's very likely. Damn. Yeah, he looks great right now. Pretty boy hairstyle and a defined face. And the eye area is pretty like charming. And he doesn't really have any Indian features in my opinion. So just looks pretty great. Why does he look like he was like 30 right here in the first photo? I'm sure he's pretty damn young. That's what happens when you live a modern lifestyle. You are able to manage to look very old when you are actually young, because the modern lifestyle is so unhealthy, which will make you look deteriorating. He didn't really share what kind of changes did he make. He only shared his transformation. Yeah, but it's a great transformation. Honestly, I think in the beginning, he looks worse than I have ever been in any time of my life. But right now he looks better than me. So basically what I'm trying to say is he was able to make some pretty big progress. If this is actually him, maybe he's frauding. Maybe that's not even his photo, right? But if this is actually him, the transformation he was able to pull was very drastic. Yeah, I don't even really know how I can pull that off. Maybe I need to join his course, right? Know his methods and get results like him. I don't think he has really talked about his diet on his page. He just talks about his transformation. It's interesting. Maybe he's like gatekeeping his secrets so that people will want to buy his stuff, right? We don't know. But let's take a look at his second pinned video, all right? With about 1 million views. Damn. Damn. How is this possible, guys? His face looks so much more healthy and defined now, with glowing skin. And the hairstyle is definitely a huge piece. Whoa, looking sharp, my guy. It's illegal to allow children to develop like his past self, looking so puffy and fat and unattractive, and feeling unconfident as a result. And damn, I got distracted because I saw this comment. Still Indian. This is so harsh. Like, come on, say some positive things. Well, yeah, I think we should just allow children to be beautiful from day one, and they are going to just have a much happier life, right? They don't need to go through some Looksmaxxing transformation because on day one they are already optimized because of their parents' right knowledge. But what happens right now is parents are harming their children because of their ignorance, allowing them to develop suboptimally and unattractively, and as a result, making them feel less confident about themselves and just making them have a worse quality of life. Yeah, this doesn't really need to happen. Some children even underdevelops, and they have an underdeveloped jaw. They have to get their teeth pulled. These things are irreversible. So yeah, we don't really want this to happen, right? I wonder what he was eating right here. Indians can't get past LTN. LT, low tier normie. That's harsh. Damn. Also, he shaved his beard. That's also a huge piece of the puzzle, making you look more juvenile and just more desirable, in my opinion. How did he make this transformation? Is he actually scamming people? But I want to point out that I think his face, his mouth area is a little bulging for some reason around his lips. I guess that's probably what's going to happen to some guys with a good jawline. They're going to kind of look like some handsome Squidward. Maybe that's the wrong name. There's another guy in SpongeBob, like a surfer guy who looks kind of like that. Yeah, he used to look more diseased, and right now he looks much healthier and fitter. Good job, my guy. Let's watch the next video, alright? Wow, I want that hollow cheeks. Also, he has some pretty fertile looking lips. What's the word? Supple? I forgot the word. Yeah, but it's a nice jawline. He has a great eye area. And his nose doesn't look off. He doesn't really have any flaws, in my opinion. Right? Looks overall pretty, like, great. Without things you want to point at. Let me take a look at the caption. How I look in natural lighting in a random interview, by the way. Damn! What a flex. Major flex. Then he's just casually mugging. But some insecure people still want to say, oh, still India. Like, I'm sure these haters don't look half as good as this guy. They're just projecting their insecurity. I mean, yeah, he's still an Indian, but who gives a F if he looks good, right? That's what matters, right? Like, I don't know. Would you want to be an ugly white guy or an attractive Indian guy like him? I feel like it's more favorable to be like him, right? Who gives a fuck about what your race is? Like, think about this. Are girls going to be more into this guy or an ugly, underdeveloped white guy? Honestly, it's a hard decision because white people can have some aura, in my opinion. Yeah, this is funny. But yeah, he looks good. It doesn't really matter if he's an Indian, right? Does it really matter? No, I don't think so. Just be nice. Say some nice things, right? So many people are insecure in the comments. Why are you guys so harsh? Come on, just compliment him. He looks good, right? In the video, literally great jawline and good hairstyle and just good vibe. Yeah, pretty boy vibe. Pretty great. Okay, let me watch the next video. Morning glow out routine. His lips are very interesting. He's just raising some products. He didn't show him using those products. Let me take a look at the products again. Conditioner, curl cream, shave, tallow moisturizer. Okay, great. So he uses a mix of natural products. Interesting. That kind of indicates that he probably doesn't eat the cleanest diet. Because I assume if you eat a ancestral, healthy, whole food diet, you are not really going to want to use some artificial products. Yeah. But those things are only temporary. They are not really going to be able to create permanent changes. So I'm not a big fan of this kind of routine. I think you need to do things that will yield you permanent results, like eating more healthily, reducing your stress, sleeping better, and shit, and massaging your muscles to allow yourself to have actual physical changes instead of just covering yourself up and making your surface look good temporarily, right? Okay, let's watch his next video. I want to be someone like him, an Asian guy that can speak fluent, impressive, nice sounding English. It's very cool. Yesterday, he's probably going to sell some products. Exactly. Does this shit actually work? I'm skeptical. Okay. Really? But okay, even if that's true, is there any like negatives? Right? We need to be more holistic. If that's going to be bad for your health, then I guess that's not very worth it. We don't want to only care about the surface. We want to think about long term. Right. Let me watch one of his other high view videos. All right. Let's take a look at this one, shall we? With about 170K views. Let's take a look. He looks kind of tall. What setting is this? Is this his campus? Someone says white or brown. That's what I was thinking. Tiptoe maxing. Was he tiptoeing? I don't know. Indian University, come on. That's funny. Yeah, why? Why are there so many Asians? Maybe I should have said Indians, right? Because when people say Asian, they are referring to people like myself. And, Indians are Indians. Okay, there's not much information in this video, just a bunch of Asian guys. Maybe that's what's viral about it. Okay, let's take a look at maybe this video right here. var guy. What does that even mean? No one gives a F about him. He looks pretty tall. He's completely ignored. 180 for you. Okay, that's a not very interesting video in my opinion. Okay, maybe let me check out this video. I have seen this video before, but I want to share my thoughts on it real quick. Boom. This girl looks a little scared. I can tell that she's a little distancing herself from the dude, aka Pilled. He looks a little nervous as well. Maybe it's because he's on camera. But she's supposed to feel more drawn, right? If she doesn't feel more comfortable and shy, that's probably a sign that our boy is not attractive enough. Looks like she wants to leave. She's kind of like trying to leave the conversation. Is exercise good? Yeah, it can make your physique look more muscular and fit, but it can also worsen your asymmetry and give you injury. So in the long run, I think it will make you unhealthy, more tired, and shit, more injured, and that can reflect on the way your face looks. So, yeah, I'm not a huge advocate for unintentional exercising. Yesterday, I was checking out a doctor's post, and he says that you want to avoid really pushing yourself to your limit, exercising for a long time, really pushing yourself very intensively, pushing very heavy weight, like keep training when you're already in pain. Like these things will really deteriorate your health and just make you become more sick. But that's how most people go about exercising. People think that you need to push beyond your limit to be healthier. So I think people are wrong in terms of that. You need to try to be nicer to your body. Take a break more and try to use myofascial release or acupuncture and being mindful about your posture to correct your symmetry, make yourself more symmetrical and healthier. And that can actually make you stronger. You don't even need to train. If you can fix your asymmetry and your structural issues, you don't need to train and you can become more strong and explosive and attractive. Yeah, this is so underrated. Debloating. Does she even know what that means? How do people usually debloat? Yeah, probably just use some gua sha. That can definitely yield some pretty quick and noticeable results. Yeah, that's definitely pretty solid. She looks upset. Why is she so rude? Why are you being rude? No, the girl is not into him. Maybe, yeah, Indian pill is too brutal. Even if you manage to ascend, you're still an Indian guy. That's not very attractive at the end of the day. Well, I mean, yeah, it's hard to say, bro. Race definitely plays a big role, for sure. Right. But yeah, I think if you are attractive, you are attractive. It doesn't really matter what race you are. You are going to be able to create some kind of desire in people, which is like likable. Yeah. But this girl doesn't seem to be all that into our boy. So our boy is not attractive enough. That's the conclusion. He needs to Looksmaxx even more. Maybe increase his bone mass. Although his face is very lean and defined, but it doesn't look very white. So maybe he can try to work on that. I don't know how he can do that. Because to grow bone when you're already an adult, that's much less likely in my opinion. Maybe you need to do some jaw surgery. Like, what's that called? Jaw hacks surgery. MSc, whatever. Yeah, but I'll stop recording here. I hope you found some value from what I shared. I think when I'm talking about my thoughts, I can try to make myself more understandable. Yeah, I guess like getting to the point quicker. That's what I need to try to work on. Yeah, I'll try to be more intentional. Oh, it's so hard to be a content creator and be successful, in my opinion. Yeah, you really need to work on yourself. Work on your looks, work on your articulation, work on your clarity, the way you view the world. And that's how you're going to be able to stand out and influence people, in my opinion. I'll keep going. Wish me good luck if you are here. Alright, shout out to this guy, AK Pilled. Good looking guy. I wonder what kind of diet he eats. He probably doesn't massage his body. Yeah, he was just able to become much healthier for some reason. Maybe he reduced his stress a lot and slept much better. Those are definitely also some very important factors, right? And shit. He doesn't seem to be very into like ancestral health. He's more like a mainstream guy. But yeah, he had a good Looksmaxxing transformation, so good for him. I wonder what's the main reason he was able to pull this off. It's interesting to find out about that. He doesn't really share that on his page. Maybe he's just a scammer, right? He didn't even go through this kind of transformation. He just wants to sell you a dream. Who knows? But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll keep going. Say some nice things to me if you are still here, alright? I appreciate you hanging out with me. Bye bye. Good luck, you all. Work on your health. Do myofascial release. Start today so that you can yield a lot of progress in the future. This shit takes time. Yeah, you want to be attractive, be happier, right? That's how you are going to have a better life. And in order to achieve that, if you are not born gifted, you will need to work on yourself starting from today and do this for a long time before you can reap some fulfilling results. That's what I really believe. Yeah, which I'm also working on right now. I also want to get a sharper jawline and have a healthier mental health. Yeah, I think by improving the way I feel, by improving my overall health, I'm going to get there one day. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. No more yapping.